Quick.
Short.
Bursts.
With.
Adam.
And young. Quick. Short. Bursts. Adam and young. Quick. Short. Bursts. With young Adam. Quick. Short. Bursts. Quick. Short. Bursts. Quick. Short. Bursts. Adam and young.
Welcome. Greetings.
What if foreplay was necessary for masturbation?
You just sort of, you gotta get yourself going.
Yeah.
Pour yourself a glass of wine.
Tell yourself nice things.
Uh-huh.
Like, you look nice
You're looking
today.
real nice today.
Yeah.
You're looking damn good.
I like the way you talk.
I like the way you talk. I wonder if that sounds different outside of my head.
I don't know.
I wonder if my voice is totally different, but I like it in here.
You got a nice mouth.
Yeah, you
can
can
take
say
care of
that.
yourself. Hands look nice and smooth.
Yeah, I would think more compliments, more hand-related compliments
Mhm.
would be in order. That's looking, yeah. Did you get those nails done?
And then you have to, I don't know, rub yourself a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of, probably some nipple play.
If you're a nipple man, I guess. I don't know if that works for every dude or not.
Yeah, I don't know either. Maybe that's why they do the ice cubes on the nipples thing. Like, they're too sensitive. Let's numb those guys out.
Yeah. There's a famous ice cube on the nipples scene in...
9.5 weeks?
No, Do the Right Thing.
Really?
Yeah, there's a scene in that
Is it
movie.
like a... Oh, okay.
And it involves Spike Lee, too.
Oh. He just wrote that in.
Yeah.
He's a nipple guy.
For some reason, it bothers me when directors write themselves into their movies. I don't know why. It shouldn't bother me, but it does for some reason.
I'm trying to think.
Like Tarantino does
It
it.
bothers me the way Tarantino
Woody
does it.
Allen does it, like,
Yeah.
pretty much every time almost.
Yeah, less so now.
And I
Yeah.
recently watched that Netflix movie, Marriage Story, with Noah Baumbach.
Yeah, that's the director, right?
Yeah, and
He wrote himself in?
he stars in it.
Really? I
Yeah.
thought Adam Driver was the star. And Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay, never mind. I totally fucked that up then.
Oh. You thought that was the director?
I thought that was the director. It's not?
No.
Oh, whoops. Never mind.
Retraction.
That was a bad example.
We can do that right in the moment.
Yeah.
No, but a lot of directors do.
Scorsese sometimes cameos in his.
Yep. That one, that hasn't bothered me so much. I think it really comes down to whether I like actually seeing the director on screen. Like,
Yeah.
Tarantino just kind of annoys me, actually. I like some of his movies, but as a,
As an
like
actor?
as a character or whatever,
Mm.
not generally. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other ones I've seen do that. I liked how Hitchcock would just kind of appear in his movies, and that would be it. Like, he didn't make a big deal out of.
Did he ever say
lines
anything?
or anything? Not that I know.
Oh,
of.
he'd be in the background like an extra or something.
Yeah, or he'd like walk by in an establishing shot. He'd just be walking down the sidewalk or something. You'd see him for.
Yeah, his famous silhouette.
Yeah, it was big.
He was a big man.
Yeah, you've seen, like, we got a bunch of chickens around here.
Yeah.
I'm getting more acquainted with chickens and their kind of workings, and more than I actually want to. I think I told you some of this stuff already, but I was thinking, I see them. There's a bunch of windows in this place, and they have different relationships to the ground outside. And there's one back by my closet that's actually like, the chickens like to hang out by that one. And when they're there, they're kind of right at eye level with me when I'm standing. So if I'm back at the closet, I'm just like dead-eyeing these chickens sometimes, or they're dead-eyeing me. And they really like hanging out back there. So I have this sort of chicken vision set up whenever, like, I don't know, in the mornings and stuff, I can walk back there, and there they are. And I saw recently that there's this whole process they go through when they shit. Like, there's just this thing, things move around in their butts. Like, things sort of, it's like a transformer back there, and then shit comes out.
Whoa.
And then Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. And it's hard to tell because there's all these different kinds of feathers and things, but you can tell muscles are moving. And I thought the thing with birds, tell me if you've heard this, was that they basically have no control over when they shit because at least a bird that can fly, which I think chickens, it's not like they've evolved away from that. It's just that we've clipped their wings. But anyway, a lot of birds, like they just let it go because it's like, it's dead weight and they need to be able to fly as well as possible. So there's no evolutionary reason for them to.
Do birds don't they just have basically one canal for everything?
I think so. It's kind of an all-purpose hole back there. Yeah.
Pee, poop, and I think there's jizz comes out of there too.
Well, I don't know how I mean, I think the penis comes out of it, and and then the jizz comes out of the penis. It's kind of a telescoping thing. The
female ones?
Yeah, jizz doesn't come out of there.
Maybe it receives jizz.
I think it does. I'm pretty sure it's a receiver. Yeah, but it's a wild scene. I don't know. I mean, it's not like it's disgusting or anything, but I just don't understand it, and I had no idea there was this sort of really elaborate system of flaps or
ducts back there.
Yeah, a lot of duct work.
Do you ever stare the chickens down?
I used to do that when there was a rooster.
Oh yeah, the rooster was a real jerk, right?
Yeah, he really. It did seem like if I didn't try and do a little bit of mentalism with him, he was just gonna be all up in my shit all the time. He would, anytime I saw him in the yard, like he would make a break.
Show you who's boss.
Yeah, which is really dumb. I mean, like it feels totally silly, but I'm not above it. I'll fuck with a rooster if I have to. If I even suspect I might have to. Sure.
Elbow drop the rooster. Like suplex it. DDT the rooster.
What's the DDT?
I think that's when you have the person's head in your armpit, and then you fall back, and then their head hits the mat.
Oh, I remember that. Were you into wrestling when you were a kid?
I went through a wrestling phase during the era when there was like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man,
the Ultimate Warrior.
He was my favorite, probably.
The Undertaker.
I think he came a little bit later.
Okay. How old were you?
I was pretty young. I was in elementary school. Yeah. That
stuff is a scene.
Yeah.
A lot of people get way into that. And they even like knowing that it's fake, like they just like the stories of it and the way that they can, I've read a little bit about this, the way that they can kind of keep a narrative going with that. I don't understand it, but it's kind of interesting.
I don't understand the point of it either, but they even write articles about it in actual sports, like sports journalism.
Really?
About wrestling. Yeah, it's really kind of weird. The whole scene is a little bit weird.
I mean, obviously you have to be athletic to be able to do that stuff, but it still seems more like straight up entertainment to me than it does
It is, I think. I think people just like the entertainment aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's hard physically too. I mean, even if it is scripted, you could still get hurt doing it, and it's physically challenging, I imagine.
Yeah.
Jumping off those high spots and just flying through the air and stuff like that. Or getting hit with chairs and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know what else to say about wrestling. What do you got there?
Not much.
It seems like you're winding up for something.
I feel really empty-headed today.
Really?
I just don't have anything to say. I feel like almost.
That happens to me sometimes. You got a lot of other shit written down there, though.
Yeah.
Are you bullshitting?
No. Because if you can't laugh at yourself, what can you laugh at? I was thinking about that the other day.
And
I was like, what? Just not laugh at nothing. Why do you have to laugh at something?
Well, I mean, that particular little aphorism presupposes that you want to be able to laugh at something.
Because laughing is kind of ridiculous.
Laughing is the best.
Just make this weird sound and like your face contorts and stuff.
Yeah.
Your body
convulses. Yeah, you're like it's like, when you see those scenes in movies where like a brain surgeon, just sort of tweaks a nerve or something and the patient can sort of burst into tears or whatever. It just feels like some outside force is manipulating you.
Yeah. But if you really did laugh at yourself that much, I think it would be almost a burden. Like you found yourself really hilarious and you're just constantly laughing. Like, God, I'm so funny. Like everything about me is just hilarious.
Yeah.
You could just be sitting there driving your car and just laughing at yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that would be handy entertainment wise. That makes me think of another saying: the simple-minded are easily amused.
Are they? I don't think I've ever heard that before.
I'm not sure it's true. It's just a saying. There's a lot of that kind of thing. Going back to your saying, I think it's total bullshit, because if you can't laugh at yourself, what else can you laugh at? There's all kinds of funny shit out there. My inability to laugh at myself does not affect that.
Yeah, I could laugh at other people.
Uh-huh.
It also reminds me of only God can judge me.
Yeah, no.
Which I'm like, that's completely false.
Yeah, people...
You can get judged by a court of law.
Yeah.
Some random dude walking down the street can judge you.
There's just judgmental people. That's why they call them that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could judge you.
I think that's what the saying is about. But, oh shit, I forgot what I was
Just because you wear a shirt that says that doesn't mean people aren't judging you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm judging your stupid shirt, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's a dumb shirt.
Nice shirt, asshole.
Yeah, you look like an idiot, and you're delusional if you think no one can judge you because they in fact are judging you.
Do you think you're a pretty judgmental person?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I am too. I'm trying to think of what to do about that because
I know it's not a good thing, but I definitely am.
Yeah, I see people who I'm pretty sure are not judgmental, and just hearing people talk about, the quality of being judgmental, it sort of implies that there's a way not to be. And I have gotten a bit of a taste of what that's like for other people, and it seems like kind of a pleasant thing. I don't know. I think I identify a bit by some ways that I'm judgmental, and I don't know that I would want to let all of them go. But I don't know.
Well, it doesn't mean I won't give someone a chance.
Yeah, of course.
But I will judge someone on their appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just assume certain things about them. I think that's kind of natural. And when you're our age, we're middle-aged now, and we kind of understand how people work.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot you can glean from just looking at someone, I think.
Sure.
Or just watching them and for a little while, and you could kind of understand that person pretty quickly, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to just dismiss someone completely. Well,
I think sometimes that's what's...
Is that what they mean by don't judge somebody?
Yeah, judging someone and dismissing them in some way, No,
I don't do that, but I definitely judge people all the time.
Mm.
I have no problem with it either. I'm sure they're judging me as well, even if they say they're not, because it's bullshit. I think
some people do it less than others, a lot less.
Yeah.
I'm just curious about that. I don't know. Okay, shifting gears. You ever see, like, if you're parking somewhere in a commercial area, or actually even some residential areas do this, where they'll have a sign for a towing company. Just, usually it's some space where it's really attractive to park there, but for some reason you're not supposed to. And so people probably have, and then they've had to get towed away and everything. But you know what the verbiage is that they always have on those signs?
No. I can't think of it right now.
Unauthorized vehicles will be towed at the owner's expense.
Okay.
Right? I mean, that sounds familiar, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. The last time I parked at one of those, I thought of how that they really felt the need to clarify that it would be at the owner's expense. Like if somebody comes up and says, or, and sees a sign that just says unauthorized vehicles will be towed, do they do a little bit of calculation and they go well, this is a really good spot. It's actually fine. If you tow me, I'll just go wherever you leave my car and then I'll get it later. That's fine.
And I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. And so that then that same person sees the new sign and they're like, oh, fuck, I'm not going to pay for that. That's bullshit.
What if it said unauthorized vehicles will be towed at taxpayers' expense?
Yeah, I don't think you'd have such a problem. Well, you'd have a real problem, actually. People would be parking however the hell they wanted to.
That'd be funny if the city passed a ballot. Like, people voted on it and they're like, yeah, let's pay for this with our tax money and we'll just get towed by the city.
Yeah.
And we'll pay for it. And we could park anywhere we want that way.
I don't think I ever told you my parking story. A few years ago, I went to see a movie over in Queen Anne, and do you drive around Queen Anne very much?
No.
It's kind of a nightmare for parking. It's really dense, and there's just a lot of back streets and stuff, and they're spoken for almost as bad, in some places worse than Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
For parking. And so I was running late to be able to catch this movie, and I had gone around so many blocks, like probably a dozen blocks, just looking for a spot. And I eventually I found one. You do that thing where you kind of spiral further and further away from your destination, like looking for a spot. And I found this one tucked away in this weird area where it started to really step up the hill and everything. And I grabbed it, and I, just was relieved to have something. And I jumped out and walked the couple of blocks, kind of ran the couple of blocks to the theater, caught it, maybe 5 minutes late or something, and caught the movie. And, I was just feeling really good about making it. And then afterward, I had it across the street, and I was hungry, and I was like, oh, I'll grab a burger because there's a Dick's right there. And so I did that, and just kind of like took my time getting back to my car. And I was walking along, like as I turned the last corner to get to my car, it was at night by this time, and I could see all these red and blue lights flashing. And I walked up, and I was like, oh man, that's crazy. And there was a cop, sure enough, who'd boxed in my car, and he was like in the middle of writing up a ticket and stuff. And I walked up to him, and I said, excuse me, officer, this is my car right here. Is this going to, whatever you're taking care of here, isn't going to take very long? And because I'm about to get going. And he looks at me, he's like, this is your car? I was like, yeah. And he goes, we've received several calls about this car here. And I have no idea how I did this in the first place. But at that point, I stepped back and kind of looked around. I had totally blocked in an apartment driveway.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck, man.
So
talk about a blunder, man.
And, yeah, so I think my only asset was my extreme stupidity in this situation. Like I walked up to the guy, I'm like, hey, is this going to take very long? Whatever.
Yeah. Hey, officer, when are you going to get out of my way? Because I really need to get going.
Because people were trying to get out of their building, and they just couldn't. And
you parked in front of a freeway exit or something.
Yeah, basically. And so he was like, well, we called the tow truck already. That's on its way. I have to give you a ticket for this. I kind of caught him just before he was getting the ticket done. Yeah. I was like, yeah, of course, that's fine. But I kind of got away fairly easy. I think it ended up only costing like $50 or something.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It was kind of amazing. But God.
How long were you parked there for?
Like I said, that I leisurely stopped for a meal afterward, I think it was probably between 2 and 2.5 hours.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But were people still able to kind of get around you?
No, not at all.
Oh, really?
No,
wow, they were totally hemmed in.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's pretty funny. Kumiko was looking at this coat on the Zara website the other day.
Uh-huh.
And it showed the model's height.
Oh, right.
But there was no other information, like what size clothes she was wearing. So I was like, what the fuck is that for?
That's just for posterity.
Yeah, this model also owns a beagle. It's just like completely useless information at that point.
Yeah. Brown eyes.
Yeah. Like Rocky Road ice cream.
Yeah, that doesn't help at all.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a lot of times women don't like to talk about how much they weigh or anything. I do see on some men's clothing websites, they'll be like, model is wearing a medium, is 6'2", 170 pounds or whatever. And that's enough to actually do something with, but that's just kind of...
Yeah, were people just supposed to guess or know somehow?
Yeah, maybe it's like that carnival game. You like just guess the weight.
Or maybe I think maybe they just forgot the person who was doing the website.
Yeah. Maybe, some people just don't understand what the purpose of that stuff is. They, you just see, everybody seems to be talking about stats. We can get some stats. That's okay.
Yeah. It's I thought it was just kind of funny.
That's weird.
I was walking my dog the other day, and there was this, I don't know, he looked kind of drunk, maybe, like a drunk dude. Maybe homeless, possibly. He was talking to these 2 girls on the sidewalk. I don't know, maybe he was asking them for money or something. And I was walking my dog, and I walked by him, and he was like, he wanted to pet my dog or something, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, he's not very friendly. And the guy said maricon twice.
What is that?
I think it means faggot in Spanish. I think that's what it means. Something like that. It's an insult. So I called him pendejo.
Uh-huh.
Which means asshole.
What did he do?
I don't know. But it was just weird to me that he said it twice. I was like, is that one for me and one for my dog? Like, is he saying my dog?
He's rationing them out.
I'm a jerk and my dog's a jerk, and I'm like, okay, well then you're a bendejo.
Yeah, you're a double asshole.
Yeah. I was like, I can't just say it once because then we're not even.
No.
I have to say it another time.
Yeah. And that might have thrown him into a whole existential funk because he was like, I don't even have a dog, but I got 2 insults. I wish I could have a dog so I could, share these. And
a lot of this has happened to me once before too. It happened to me once on the New York subway. I think a Mexican guy, I was walking through the aisle and he was just had his legs way out in the middle. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, excuse me. Mm-hmm. And then he wouldn't move. So I just kind of stepped over him. And then I looked back and he said something like that. He said something in Spanish, like maricón or something. Mm-hmm. And then I called him a bendejo too. This is your go-to Spanish insult. And whenever it's happened so far, they don't say anything back. I think they're shocked that I say anything back to them. Mm-hmm. They assume, an Asian guy, he probably doesn't understand Spanish. Mm-hmm. And if I call him something, he's just going to ignore it or whatever. Yeah. So in both instances, they didn't say anything back to me after that. That's funny. Yeah. Because a lot of times, Spanish people, mm-hmm. or Spanish-speaking people, I shouldn't say Spanish. Sure. They refer to all Asians basically as chinos, which means Chinese person. Yeah, I don't know why, but that's just the way they talk about us. I don't think they're all so, I don't know, lacking in knowledge about Asia that they don't know that there are different ethnic groups, but I think that's just what they call us for convenience, a lot of them. Wow. I mean, I would guess that's what it is, but that's also how a lot of Western culture used to do it. Yeah. A lot of other parts of Western culture used to do it, and it's not seen as cool. Yeah. Generally, though, yeah. Growing up, it was like Chinese, people would just say stuff about China or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, I'm not Chinese. You have to specify, but yeah. But I think if that's the mentality you have, like these are just Chinese people, you probably don't assume that they know Spanish or anything like that either. Yeah. I hate it when people take up way more than their own space on the subway or the train or whatever. Happens so much in New York. Mm-hmm. There was the whole man spreading thing that people were always complaining about. Really? Yeah. When a guy gets on the train and just like spread eagle on the seat, taking up like 3 seats with his, with his knees. Yeah. It's such a, I don't know. It's that weird, like male dominance thing. Like what battle are you winning right now? Yeah. And the whole, like, you see roosters do, just ridiculous shit, but they can't really think deeply about what they're doing. Mm-hmm. What's their excuse? Yeah, pigeons you see doing it too. There's usually like the biggest one who's kind of a bully and just kind of goes around like bobbing his head and like pushing all the other ones around. Yeah. Yeah. That kind of thing. The pecking order. But one thing about New York that, people say it's kind of different from the rest of America. Mm-hmm. But one thing that's distinctly American about the way people use public transportation there is how everyone has to have their personal space. Oh. I feel like New Yorkers, the way they ride the subway is terrible. They do not maximize the space at all. I don't know, it's like everyone has to have like this cushion of space around them. But when you're like in Asia or maybe even Europe, people are more comfortable with crowding, Mm-hmm. But in New York, it's more like everyone's kind of spread out. Like they're like, don't get too close to me kind of thing, And you can just feel it. And I think that's where I'm like, yeah, we're still in America for sure. Mm-hmm. The way people are so into themselves. Holding on to that. Yeah. That's interesting. I was riding the light rail a few years ago in the morning. And there were a lot of folks on this train car, but it wasn't like packed, Mm-hmm. I'm not even sure there were very many people standing. I think most of the people were taken care of just by the seats that were there. But there was one of those weird junctures where it went from sort of seats that were perpendicular to the car to seats that were parallel to it. And so there's kind of a weird joint where I think maybe a guy had kind of, like there was a woman sitting in the closest seat to where the angle change happened. And this guy had sort of improvised a spot for himself to kind of like, I think maybe he was leaning against the back of a seat or something right there. And it put him very close to her. And he was an older guy and she was probably like in her 30s or something. And she
like gently asked him, if he could move, and she was polite and everything, just said that he was really in her personal space. And it was like the two of them were way closer than anybody else in the car or anything. And he flew off the handle. It's like, I don't believe in that personal space bullshit. Like the whole, and she just was like staring straight ahead. She wouldn't, interact with him anymore because he seemed insane. And, I get it. I don't know.
Well, if there's no need to crowd,
right,
I
exactly.
understand. But if it's just a really full train,
of course, yeah. No, I only mention it because it's sort of there's something about it, in common there. It's a different situation, but there's it's kind of part of the social contract, I guess. There's an agreement about how much space we need, and these folks they were not in sync on that.
Yeah, I mean, during rush hour, if it was really, really busy on the trains in New York, you would get really packed in there. Mm-hmm. But any other time, well, even during rush hour, sometimes like the middle of the train there would be people standing, holding the bars, and they would have a lot of space in between each of them. But then like in front of the doors, everyone would be just packed in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because the people in the middle demand too much space for themselves.
People on the bus do that too, actually, even here.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe more down to cluelessness. I don't know.
I think it's a very American phenomenon, though. I don't know if it's cluelessness or just, I don't know, people being selfish jerks.
Yeah.
I don't know what causes it. Probably both. Mm-hmm. But it's a very American thing to ride public transportation that way.
Assholes.
So have you heard of burning sage in your house to get rid of bad juju or whatever? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the other day, I didn't have any sage.
Because this is a usual thing you do.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So I burned some oregano instead. And then like these Italian ghosts came to my apartment. And they were like, "Oh, you like a pizza?"
That's how they do it.
I'm an Italian ghost. Ooh.
Is the sage supposed to call ghosts?
No, I think it's supposed to get rid of them, expel them.
So the oregano is sort of a backfiring thing.
Yeah, I thought maybe I don't have any sage. I'll just try this, but it didn't work.
Yeah,
but it wasn't so bad because the ghosts that came were kind of passionate Italian ones.
Mm-hmm. Kind of almost stereotypically so. Yeah,
this pasta is al dente.
It's a spicy meatball.
Yeah, you like the fettuccine? You like the tiramisu and the espresso? And I was like, yeah,
I like all that stuff.
But they were demanding that I make it and stuff. So I was
the ghosts.
Yeah. I don't know. I was like, but you guys can't eat it or anything. You can't enjoy it because you're ghosts now.
Yeah.
So they're like, we want you to enjoy it for yourself.
I guess like, that's thoughtful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But next time, I'm going to just burn sage.
Yeah. I'm curious to hear how that goes.
What if I burned ginger and then like Asian ghosts came to my apartment?
Yeah.
They wanted rice and stuff.
Hey, give us rice and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's how it works.
Yeah. We want rice and General Tso's chicken. This ghost came back from the dead and demanded General Tso's chicken instead of, something more authentic, I guess.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun.
Like, we want fortune cookies. Like, actually, that's not an Asian thing. Yeah, we know. We just like them. Can you please?
Yeah, we just enjoy them.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
And beef and broccoli.
Is that not a thing?
I don't know, actually. It could be. But probably the way they make it here is a little bit catered to American palates.
Yeah. It seems like because of when Chinese food got to be a big thing in American culture, it seemed like it was sort of peak misappropriation, and like just sort of, that it's hard. I have a feeling that a lot of that stuff is not quite how you would get it if you went to the real place.
And yeah, but people freak out about MSG being in food, Asian food.
Oh, right.
But MSG is not really it's not harmful.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not good for you to eat too much of it because of the high sodium content, but it's just glutamate, which is a naturally occurring thing in food. Find it in savory foods like cheese and soy sauce and just whatever. It's the thing that gives food its savory flavor. It's an amino acid, I guess. And it was invented by a Japanese dude who found out how to, process it, or how to produce it, but it's not like a harmful chemical or something. People don't understand what
occurs
MSG
naturally,
is.
and
Yeah,
you figured out how to synthesize it.
yeah, so you could enhance the flavor of foods with it.
Mm.
But it's not something that harms you in any way, unless you took like tons of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was that? It was
invented?
Yeah.
I think the early 1900s. Yeah.
What did they call it? Do you know?
Well, one of the most famous brands in Japan is Ajinomoto. And it just looks like salt or sugar. It's just a white powder.
That's what I thought. Is that kind of the name a lot of times, like almost like Kleenex or something, where it just sort of goes by that name? Or did people say MSG or what?
I think they call it. I don't know what they call it actually. There's all different brand names for it.
Yeah. But
no, a lot of times it's in food, and they disguise it behind different names. Like if you ever get chips or something, and it says something like autolyzed yeast or whey protein, those are a couple names they used for it, but that's MSG.
Huh.
And a lot of times people don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
But if they did, they would freak out and say, "Oh God, I don't feel well after I ate these chips because they had MSG in them."
Mm-hmm.
But when they're unaware of it, they eat it all the time without any kind of weird thing happening.
Yeah. It's like the coyote running off the cliff. He doesn't know about gravity, so he's fine.
Yeah. You know what I was realized? One reason I quit caffeine? Because I realized it's the drug that fuels capitalism, basically.
You made a conscious anti-capitalist choice?
It was part of it. Seriously? It was also a health reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I know.
For health reasons, I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, just think about it. There's all this, I don't know, it's not propaganda. It's like advertising that tells you to drink it, and there's all this pleasant imagery associated with it, like you're peppy and, you're cheery and, you're ready to go and you got all this energy and
you poop exactly when you want to.
Yeah. But just think about the way caffeine works. It makes your peak energy and concentration occur during the work hours.
Yeah.
And then you just come crashing down after that.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's just so addicted to it. As soon as they get to work or when they wake up in the morning, they're like, I got to have my coffee,
Yep.
And the way they push it, like they even give you free coffee at work usually. Mm-hmm. Instead of saying you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But they don't offer anything else usually, like free beverages outside of coffee and tea.
Yeah.
It's definitely a productivity thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did you, when you did drink coffee, how late into the day or the night did you drink it?
I used to drink it. I'm talking about a long time ago. Like in my 20s, I used to just drink it all the time, all day. And then in my 30s, I slowed down and I just started drinking it in the mornings to get up and get going. Mm-hmm. And then I started slowly reducing the amount I drank last year. And then I was like, I'm just going to quit. And I did. And I still got headaches from not drinking it suddenly.
Now even?
No, not now. No. I did at that time. But yeah, it really fucks with you when you just quit. Mm-hmm. Which made me realize, man, people are just totally addicted to this stuff.
Yeah. I never really got hugely hooked on it. For the longest time, I'd maybe have, I don't know, maybe every other day I'd have one on average in the morning. I've never been able to do it at, late. Like that's fucked up my
it'll fuck up your sleep big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just sensitive to substances in general. So it's usually pretty easy for me to kick it because I'm always just kind of only flirting with getting hooked on it in the first place. Yeah. So I guess that's still mostly the mode I'm in, but I don't like, you and I have had this conversation a bit already that in terms of the energetic peak that, is people seem to be going for with it, whether they're thinking about it or not, just sort of to be productive at work. And yeah, it's nice to be on more of an even keel through your entire waking time.
I like having a more even distribution of energy throughout the day instead of like having that really hard peak, like a few hours after you drink it and then coming down.
Yeah.
And then usually feeling like shit after work unless you drink more caffeine. Mm-hmm. And I don't like being dependent on something like that.
No.
And the people at my work, they just freak out about it all the time. It's funny to watch. They're always like, oh my God, we're out of coffee, and we better make some more. And there's always this stuff going on about the coffee machine and how much you're supposed to use and how you're supposed to use it. Yeah, I don't know. And then one time this girl got really pissed, and on Slack she was like, if you drink the last of the coffee, make sure to make more right away. I was like, Jesus, these people are fiends, caffeine fiends.
Yeah,
but it's such a normal thing that no one really thinks of it that way.
Yeah, it's very.
It's like, everyone just drinks coffee and is addicted to caffeine, So.
I was just driving. I think it was yesterday, and I saw. I was stopped at an intersection and a crosswalk, and a bunch of folks were walking by, and one of them had just come from Starbucks, and it was obvious because she had, I don't know, it must have been some baked item or something in a little sack, but they had screen printed now. I mean, it was a sack that was not quite the size of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, but the entire side of the bag was covered with kind of a tight cropped image of the Starbucks mermaid thing. It was kind of like a portion of the bust kind of the thing. Like, so it was, even though it was a small bag, you really got a sense of the logo from like really far away. And she was, I don't know why, but it just struck me that as she was walking by, she did something like maybe she had her coffee in the same hand. So she was like drinking and holding the bag, but it was like she was just waving this ad for Starbucks in my face, it's really clever in terms of just getting that brand recognition out there and everything. And I mean, when you couple that kind of the fact that it's already an extremely addictive thing to begin with, and then like the way that they just keep getting better at marketing all of this stuff and, making kind of diversifying what they offer to make it, and adding sugar to make it something that is palatable to as many folks as possible. It's kind of a rigged game. Like most people don't have a chance, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, they do make it really alluring also to young people by making all these, flavors with it, chocolatey flavors or sweet flavors.
Yeah, all kinds of
putting all kinds of whipped cream and stuff on it.
Fruit flavors
and just the way it's, packaged and marketed is so appealing, I think.
I mean, I love coffee. It's delicious. This really makes me want a coffee right now.
I used to love it too. I was a huge fan of coffee, and I was always talking about how great it is. But then I just came to this realization. I was like, because I skate all the time after work, and I would always be like, my energy levels would just start crashing right when I need to skate.
Got it.
And I was like, I feel like crap, And then I stopped drinking coffee, and then I usually felt better from that because of that. I had more even energy level throughout the day.
So you still notice that?
Yeah.
Like it hasn't been as big of a deal.
Yeah, I would always feel super groggy and empty-headed after work, right when I was going to start skating. And I'd be like, even though I'd just eaten a banana too, because I needed to. I usually ate it like an hour before, because the tryptophan kind of makes you drowsy. It can. I don't know if there's enough in a banana to like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Really knock you out, but I did it anyway, so I could digest it a little bit too. And even if I, had a banana and a bunch of water at work right before I went, right before I got off my shift, I would still feel like crappy when I wanted to skate. So
yeah, it's good that you caught that. Sometimes some people will just kind of keep on full steam ahead with whatever. Like, I'm a little sleepy. I'd like to be able to. I'd like to have more energy. Anyway, I guess it's Netflix tonight and do the whole thing again tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people go their entire lives smoking,
right?
And they're like, "Oh fuck, I've been smoking for 50 years. Oh my god!" And then they're like, they realize they fucked themselves pretty badly.
Yeah.
I think it's easy to once you get into a habit, the time just flies. You don't even realize it how long it's been that you've been doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Habits are kind of scary to me that way.
Yeah.
I think I really err on the side of avoiding as much of that stuff as I can.
Yeah, and I started drinking coffee pretty early too because I used to work at my parents' hamburger restaurant.
Oh, that's when you started?
Yeah.
How old were you? Like junior high,
14
right?
or 15 is when I maybe even a little bit younger than that. But I would just start helping them when I first started, I was just helping them a little bit. And then as high school came along, I started working full shifts.
Oh, really?
Or a few hours, and then on the weekends I would work almost full shifts.
Like both days?
No, Sundays were usually closed, but Friday nights and then Saturdays.
God.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that bad, but that's when I started drinking coffee. Yeah. Well, actually, was I working full shifts back then? Or was I just working a few hours? I don't remember. But I was there. I was there
too.
a lot. Yeah, I was there at least 3 or 4 hours a day. I'd have to ask my parents. Actually, I forgot.
It's all right. I mean, this is a no spin zone, but you still, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, more than 20 years.
I guess we never clarified that this is a no spin zone. We should have said that before. You haven't been spinning anything, have you?
No, I haven't been spinning anything.
Okay, good.
Because I have no agenda, I don't think. Except my personal weird little peeves and things like that I like to opine about.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like we're sponsored by anyone or influenced by anyone in any way.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, hopefully soon we'll sell out though, and
yeah,
once we start getting sponsors and
once
shit.
Once that ad money comes in.
That'll definitely be spin at that point.
Yeah, most of this show is going to be about adult diapers and how awesome they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go hardcore Republican if I get enough money.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Yeah. That wouldn't be very funny though, would it? That could be funny.
Maybe. Like, sort of like living a joke.
Yeah.
Which could be hilarious. It would take the show in a different direction.
What if we became really just loudmouth, like right-wing pundits?
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. I don't know why that would just be hilarious for some reason. Like, you go back to the early episodes and we're just kind of two dudes talking, and then suddenly we just have transformed into these like Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck type dudes.
Witnessing that transformation, I'm sure, would be good radio.
Yeah, it would be pretty funny. It would be funny for a little while, but then after a while, the joke would wear off and it would just be like two assholes talking.
Yeah. Remember when we used to be pussy liberals?
Fucking libtards.
Mm-hmm.
Those snowflakes.
Used to be cucks.
Those SJWs need to get their shit together.
Mm-hmm.
And stop crying about everything.
Yeah.
God, back in my day, people were tough. We didn't take shit from nobody.
Yeah.
We weren't these fucking pussy-ass liberals like these kids today. Kids need to get spanked. They need to be taught what America is.
Spank America into them.
They need to be taught about guns and concrete and trucks.
Yeah.
None of that SJW cuck bullshit.
Yeah, I think we're halfway there.
You know what I thought would be a funny prank? You just walk up to a normal person who's just minding their own business and say, "Halloween's over, you freak." And they'd be like, "What?" Just some totally normal, nondescript person doing something really normal, like grocery shopping or something.
Yeah, that could at least ruin their afternoon.
They'd be scratching their head like, "What? What did I do?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes me think of another story. Somebody said some weird shit to me once when I was waiting for the bus. Mm-hmm. It kind of fucked me up for a while. I wish I could remember the conversation where I told some friends because I was on the way to school. I was living in Madison Valley at the time, and I was waiting at the bus stop to go over to UW. And there's only one other person at the bus stop, and he was very chatty. Like, he made kind of intense eye contact when he was really well dressed and like clean cut and everything. But it became apparent the more that we spoke that there was something off mentally. And so I wish I could remember these questions he would ask me. It was maybe 2 or 3 of them before I started kind of pulling back from the conversation a bit. And it was at that point that the guy said, "I'm going to get into your head, and I'd appreciate it if you didn't." It was, I wish, again, I don't remember exactly, but it was like, "Don't bother fighting it," or something like that,
That's pretty creepy.
Yeah, it was really fucking weird. It was,
You're liable to get punched by someone if you say that to the wrong person.
Yeah. It was very odd. It was, I don't know. I had never encountered anything like that before.
If you had looked down, you would have noticed both of his nipples were rock hard and his penis was erect.
Yeah, probably so. That's his thing.
Yeah.
He's a mind fucker.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of girls who can just masturbate by kind of like moving their crotch muscles or their thigh muscles?
I have heard of that, yeah.
It's like, that'd be cool if guys could do that.
Yeah. You probably could. I think it would take a lot of practice.
Like you could just be sitting there and look like you're not doing anything but be masturbating with just your like thigh muscles and crotch muscles somehow.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
What if you put a pocket pussy on your dick
and then just
walked around,
zipped up and walked around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably do
like just kind of grind it out.
What if it was a vibrating one?
Oh yeah. And you had a remote.
Yeah. And then you could just turn it on and masturbate.
It would be this gigantic protuberance in your...
It'd be funny if someone looks down at your pants and it's just like vibrating down there. Like your crotch is just twitching and jiggling around.
You try to play it off like you're just extremely well hung, and like there are ridges, and it's obviously some kind of a mechanism you have down there.
Yeah, there's a little motor going off.
Yeah,
going around in there.
I can see a light glowing through the fabric of your pants.
And then you're like, I'm not doing anything. And then you go, and then you orgasm like. Oh, sorry, I have bronchitis right now.
Mm-hmm. Do you know there's that bug going around?
Yeah, I'm taking cough suppressants. So.
And now I have to go.
Like, sure, buddy. We all know what you got in your pants right now.
Should we call it?
Yeah.
All right. It was a wild ride.
Sure was.
All over the place.
Roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah. The whole thing is just making me reflect on the whole. I'm getting all nostalgic for this episode that's just now finished.
No, I'm not yet. It's going to take me a while.
All right.
But I know it's going to hit me later, and I might start crying or something.
Like a baby. Yeah.
Such a good episode.
It's so good.
I already miss it. Yeah.
And it's the first one we're going to be sponsored on. I know it.
Yeah, we're going to get sponsored for sure.
Mm-hmm. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Why do we say good night, though? What if it's
I know.
the day or the morning?
I like that it might be wrong. What should we say?
Toodaloo? No.
Toodaloo, everybody.
Sayonara?
Sayonara, yeah.
Not mahalo.
Why not?
I don't know. It seems like a lot of people say that. It's kind of become gimmicky, yeah.
All right. Let's figure out how to say it in some,
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Yeah.
Auf Wiedersehen.
On again seeing.
What's that?
That's the German. That's what it means.
What?
On again seeing.
On again seeing?
Yeah.
Oh, if you directly translate it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's pretty funny sounding.
Yeah. On again seeing, everybody.
Bye-bye. That's probably